Students dismantle their leftist teacher in front of the entire school.
Students in the UK recorded this audio of them challenging their teacher because they disagree with the student in the class who claims that she's a cat.
I'm reporting you to Miss Williams.
With a cat girl? A cat girl? I want to be a cat. What?
You need to have a proper educational conversation about equality, diversity and inclusion.
The teacher gets so upset that she claims she's going to report them all.
Where the teacher should have gone with this conversation is, no, you can't identify as a cat.
They say, no, we're not going to play this game, and they challenge the logic that their classmate is in fact a cat. This sets the teacher off, though.
How dare you? You've just really upset someone.
Oh, yeah?
Saying things like, should be in an asylum.
I didn't say that. I just said if they want.
The thing is, to be honest, I don't really think they need an asylum. I'm just being real. Like, I know you might think that, but no, because if you just shut this down, this only occurs when people, okay, how do I explain this? The reason why is because this person doesn't need to be in an asylum. They just need to be shut down, because these people, when they're shut down and they're not allowed to like basically impose their quirky personality on other people in this way, if it's 100% known that it is not accepted or acceptable to be like that, to like force that upon other people, then they're not going to do it. The only reason this happens is because we've created this sort of hug box where we allow people that their view of themselves should be projected upon everybody else's own personal views of them. So like if they didn't have the capability to actually force their perception of self onto other people, then this wouldn't happen. They'd just be like, oh, that's inappropriate, stop that. And then they keep saying I'm a cat. They'd be like, nope. And then they would have no choice really but to just be a cat on their own time, away from other people, on the internet, whatever you want. VR chat, go be a cat on VR chat, you know what I mean? Or be a VTuber, be a cat. But you know, you can't really impose that on other people that don't want to take part, right? Like I'll give you a good example. Like if you like have a friend group, furries, for example, right? You have like a furry friend group and you're like, well, I identify as a cat. And then your friend's like, well, I identify as a dog. It's like, okay, well, you can have your little furry group and then you can just call each other cat, bear, whatever people do, wolf, yeah, whatever it is, rat folk or whatever. You do all that. With your own little group, you can call each other that and you can all share in that little quirkiness of yourselves, and that's fine, like whatever, right? But like you can't force that upon people that don't want to participate. This is about consent, right?
Someone identifies as a cat or something, then they're like genuinely
no, really, like I don't have a problem, right? I really don't have a problem with that. Like if a group of people together wanted to be like, we're going to have a club where we're furries and we're gonna act out and identify as animals, and then we're going to treat each other like we're that type of furry archetype, no problem with that. Because if everyone consents to it, it's fine. But the problem is they're forcing their self-perception on other people against their consent. That's the issue.
And they've gone, they're crazy.
I mean, there's something to be said for that. If you believe you are a cow or a cat, there's something going on mentally.
You were questioning their identity.
No, I wasn't a question. I was just saying about the gender. I didn't say anything about.
And the other thing too is I'm pretty sure they don't literally think that they're a cat. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they don't literally think that. I'm pretty sure what they're doing is they're abusing the current levers of power in order to force a quirky personality upon other people for their own I don't know, weirdness, quirkiness, their own sense of style or whatever. Like I feel like that's what they're doing, right? Like they're trying to be like, I have a very interesting personality and you will refer to me as that interesting personality. It's kind of like that, basically. Main protagonist syndrome, kind of a little bit. You're not wrong. Kodiak, thank you so much for the 1,000, man. The most basic I've heard in a while. Yeah, I mean, it's all about consent, really, right? This is all caused by that. This is all caused by this ability to force. It's almost like it's kind of like, I don't want to say like, it's sort of similar to being goth, but then like for goth people generally, it's an internal thing where it's like, I identify with this subculture and that's how I dress. I don't give a fuck what you say. Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm totally fine with that. But then like, if they're like, listen, I'm goth and I'm literally a vampire and you will treat me like I'm a vampire, then it's like, that's a little bit much at that point. You know what I mean? Like that, now you're over the line at that point. And sorry, I know I'm going in circles, I'm looping, but the point I'm trying to say is that like, this wouldn't happen if we didn't give them the power to control other people's perceptions. Does that make sense? Like they would have no ability to do this if they couldn't use their attention seeking, their intention seeking motive, if we didn't give them the power to actually utilize it like that.
But where did you get this idea from? There's only two genders.
The teacher acts like this is some extremist idea that, oh, you've been on the internet too much. Where did you get this idea that there's two genders? Now, the students take an interesting strategy here. If she's allowed to have her opinion that she's a cat, why can't I have my opinion that there's only two genders?
My opinion. That is my opinion. If I respect their opinion, can't they respect my opinion?
It's just not an opinion.
So the teacher claims you're not allowed to hold that opinion.
Kodak Xmas for the 100. Cool. I'll get all the wooden stakes then, as that's what they want.
Even though it's subjective truth.
Gender is not linked to do with the parts that you were born with.
So this is the move that we usually see.
Dude, honestly, the most base play here is to tell them that they're not allowed to use any of the human bathrooms and they have to shit in a litter box and only eat cat food. That's what they should have done. Should have been like, okay, you're a cat. Okay, let's see you be a cat then.
At some point, people just started to claim that gender is separate from sex.
That is about how you identify, which is what I said right from the very beginning of the
I just don't agree with that. So why should I have to listen to
biological sex, there is actually three biological sex, because you can be born into sex.
This teacher goes on to even...
What the fuck?
So why should I have to listen?
She said she wanted to be treated like a vampire, so I stabbed her in the heart and buried her corpse in the mountain of garlic and crosses. Bro, that's crazy.
Biological sex, there is actually three biological sex, because you can be born into sex.
No, it's an abnormal condition. It's not like a different thing. It's a deformity.
This teacher goes on to even claim that there are some people that have no gender.
I fucking hate this. I hate when these people do this.
There's transgender, there is agender, people that don't believe they have a gender at all.
Yeah,
People that don't believe. I'm learning some here.
And the students point this out. They say, how's that even possible?
yeah, it's not a lot, but it's our opinion. We just don't agree with it. We just think it's all just.
If you have a vagina, you're a girl. If you have a penis, you're a boy.
Yeah.
But cisgender is not necessarily the way to be. You were talking about the fact that cisgender is the norm. That you identify with the gender of the sexual organs that you're born with, or you're weird. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is really despicable.
And see, this is the point that I've been bringing up, right? You can be weird, but like, stop trying to make up some shit. You know what I mean? Like, just be weird. Just be a dude that likes to wear girl clothes, or be like a girl that likes to be a tomboy. What happened to femboy and tomboy? Can we just bring that back, guys? We need to bring it back. Like, seriously, just bring it back.
How? When
Wow,
If
it's
I
back.
called my mum right now, my mum would
Same.
be on my side.
If I called my mum, she'd say.
Well, that's very sad as well then.
How is it?
Loads of people agree with that. There's only a small majority of people who actually think
Honestly,
that.
you know that one gay dude that like he there's like that one gay dude who like dresses up like a well, he doesn't really dress up like a girl. He just kind of looks like I can't tell. He was like a very effeminate man. That dude was really badass. You know what I mean? Like, what was it? Yeah, Jeffree Star. Yeah, that guy. Dude, that guy has aura. It should just be like Jeffree Star. Yeah.
And why do you think we have so many problems in the world?
Yeah, ashtray. I like him too.
Homophobia.
True.
The students point out
true.
this really has nothing to do with gay people. In fact, you couldn't have the concept of being gay if there was no such thing as biological gender.
Because
That's
of
not
people
homophobic,
expressing-
that's gender.
Yeah.
I'm fine with lesbians and gay people.
Same.
I've got nothing against them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But gender there is a link between it, and you're
Dude, hold on. How do you tell me? You're telling me that this teacher is getting out debated by little children? How the fuck does that happen? How does that happen?
that people can't
isn't-
change.
No,
She's like a grown-ass adult.
fine with lesbians and gay people.
Same.
I've got nothing against them.
Yeah, same.
But gender there is a link between it, and you're saying that people can't
isn't.
change
No, they
who they want
can't.
to be.
They can't. Unless you
You're
get a
so
penis
wrong.
attached. No, I'm not.
You're confusing sex and gender.
No, I'm not though. Because
Yes,
if you have
you
a
are.
vagina, you're a girl. If you have a penis, you're a boy.
Yeah, you can't have a vagina and be a girl, but then
Gender
identify.
This is our teachers, bro.
The problem here is the
That's
teacher claims
crazy.
they are objectively wrong in their analysis. She says it right here. This is not up for debate. She's saying you are not allowed to have that opinion.
It's not an opinion. opinion that
Yes,
we
it is.
express in this
Yes,
school.
it is.
No, it's not. And if you don't like it, you need to go to a different school.
This is where it just gets wild.
You need to go to a different school?
Clearly stating it's our way or the highway. We will kick you out of school if you do not buy into.
When she mentioned intersex, they should have mentioned that it's an abnormality, and it is so abnormal that it's a pretty solid chance that nobody in their class is intersex. And just ask the class if anyone in the class is intersex to raise their hands. Yeah. I mean, you're right. It is an abnormality. It's very rare, and like it means that there's an abnormality in the norm, which is male and female. That's what it means. And it does happen, right? It does happen, but it doesn't change the fact that that's not the it doesn't create like a new thing. There being an issue. Like again, human beings come in 2 arms and 2 legs. Just because a person doesn't have an arm, is missing an arm or a leg, doesn't mean that that's not the state that humans have. It means that there was something that happened. There was an accident that happened, or there was some kind of genetic issue that occurred, which made them not have 2 arms and 2 legs, right? That's, yeah.
To the student can
It's
be a
defect,
cat.
exactly.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that people who don't have 2 arms and 2 legs are not human. I'm not saying that intersex people are not human and don't deserve to be treated with respect. I'm just saying that like they're trying to use cases of these obvious abnormalities to try to create some other thing, by the way, which even has nothing to do, the gender thing that they're bringing up or the cat thing that they're bringing up has nothing to do with it. They're like using intersex people and like their abnormalities, their deformities, they're using that as like, they're basically using that as a castle from which to attack from. When it doesn't even, their arguments is about people that don't even have those conditions. Shakalaka, thank you so much for the bits as well. Thank you.
Supporting you to Miss Willis, you need to have a proper
Yeah, it's a Mon and Bailey
educational
argument, exactly.
conversation.
A proper educational conversation. I would love to have that conversation. I'd be very curious to see how that would go and what that would look like.
About equality, diversity, and inclusion.
About DEI. What is...
This is why I point out DEI so much, because it encompasses so much. It's not just the racial component. It plays out like you're seeing here as well.
I'm not having that expressed in my lesson. When I'm teaching you about you can be who you want to be, how you identify is up to you.
But these students can't be who they want to be. They can't disagree with...
Dude, I'm gonna be real. Like, I feel like I just understood something right now. I don't actually think this has anything to do with weird people. Really, I don't think this has anything to do with weird people that like want to be cats, want to be dogs, trans people who want to be whatever gender. I don't think this has anything to do with that, actually. I think it's everything to do with narcissistic people. It's just narcissistic people. They're the problem. What the hell is this? You know what I mean? Yeah, they're trying to force their beliefs on other people, their own idea of themselves. Right? It's the same thing where they say like, "Hey, well, you know what? I weigh 500 pounds. You better love me. If you know, I'm hot. I'm super fucking hot, right? Or like, you know, you should like people no matter how they look." It's like they're pushing what you want, what you like onto, they're pushing their idea of that onto you. Fats 13 makes sense. You know what? True. Yeah, touche, man, touche. But like, yeah, you have all these issues where they're trying to push like their it's all narcissism, basically. It's all narcissism. Trying to wield their own internal world and trying to like project it on other people's perception. That's all it is. Narcissistic people enforcing their personality and behaviors through a governmentally protected channel. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Because again, I don't really have a problem with trans people that want to be left alone and they're like, you know, whatever, like gender's real, you know, and that's just a fact. Gender's real. I have no problem with a furry that's like, well, you know, I want my friends to call me a cat, and the friends are like, oh, we're cool with that because we're all furries. I have no problem with that. It's when they're trying to like force it on other people that's where I have a problem. It's like I don't consent to like participate in your fucking weird game.
With this person being a cat.
So everyone who thinks it, they just don't say it because then all this happens.
Maybe because they're polite.
It's simple. I don't consent to being a part of your kink. Yeah, exactly.
The tolerance only goes so far.
I haven't said anything in all of the lessons I've been in. It's just because they turned around and started saying something. So I said, how can you identify as a cat when you're a girl?
Well, they're now writing a statement. I would imagine that you'll be asked to write a statement as well.
Now they're being required to write statements, and this is in the UK. Maybe they have a different procedure over there. I'm glad this got caught on camera. Now, this recording caught the attention of the media in the UK.
So think about... I totally forgot what I was going to say. Like, my mind just got fully wiped when I saw the fucking... All right, well, okay, I remember now. What I was going to say is imagine the amount of these cases, by the way, that don't get reported because they don't get recorded. So this happens more than it's happening right now, probably by a large factor, actually.
Teacher, and I will make a
Now, this recording caught the attention of the media in the UK.
The teacher, and I will make a direct quote, said, "That is not an opinion that we express in this school, and if you don't like it, you need to go to a different school." Now,
the way she dealt with it was completely unprofessional, and to say that if you express these views that she really has decided is unacceptable, I'm not sure she speaks for the whole entire school. If you don't like it, find another school.
Now, this is the interesting part when she turns over to one of the co-hosts.
This is bonkers, isn't it, Nigel?
Well, I mean, the
Wait,
teacher...
what the hell? Name your... Bro. There's... Wait, you have that many? And then you have an other? Wait, what is passing? What does that mean? Bro.
The teacher was unnecessarily aggressive on this one. I thought the kids were actually fighting back quite admirably.
Outfit is amazing.
And
I love
where
it.
the teacher should have gone with this conversation is, no, you can't identify as a cat or an aardvark or a chihuahua or something like that. You cannot identify as a different species.
Who at first sounds reasonable, but it turns out he's actually of the belief that gender is subjective and fluid.
But you think you can change your gender?
But I do think you can change your gender.
Why is it that a cat is too far, but changing my biological reality is not too far?
Bro, what? Okay, you had me in the first half, bruh. You can't change your biology, brother. You can't.
And my point to this, by the way, this is what I... Oh my God. Dude, I wish some trans people would just fucking listen to me. All you have to say, yes, biological reality is real, but I just want to live like this anyway. Please leave me alone. That's all they need to say. And be like, I'm not gonna like join sports or anything like that that's gonna give me a physical advantage. They just need to do that. Dude, I'm serious. Like, that's all they need to do, and then nobody will care. Trying to be like, there's no such thing as the biological reality because that affects you and it hurts you to like understand that that's the case. It's crazy because everybody can observe it. This is ridiculous, man.
That is enshrined in British law for most purposes.
So you think, so for example, I could decide so you're saying a cat is me taking it too far, but I could
It's a different species, so it would be ridiculous.
So
this is why it really makes me think it's narcissism. Because it's not about like, let me live my life. It's about like, I'm trying to think. It's like, it's so obvious that some of the things that they're doing are unfair. It's very obvious. It's like, okay, it's very obvious the problems that can be caused by self-ID issues. It's very, very obvious the problems that could be caused by the sports issue. It's very, very obvious that biology is real, and that the methods of which people use do not literally polymorph a person into the other gender. It's very obvious that these are the case, and it's like, I get it, like, that it hurts their feelings, but like, why fight the reality that's objective? Like, what it seems like to me is like, there's this reality I don't want to accept because I don't like this reality, and because I don't like this reality, I want to delete the entire concept of it from existing. Does that make sense? It's all about wanting to be special. This is why I think it's a narcissistic issue. This is why I think it's a narcissistic issue, because I've met furries that aren't like this. I've met trans people that aren't like this. So it's like, I think the issue is just there are systems currently in place in society that give narcissists power over other people, and they're wielding it to the maximum of its potential. That's what I think it is. I don't think this has anything to do with furries. It has nothing to do with weird people. It has nothing to do with trans people that want to be left alone. This is all narcissistic people using whatever levers of power they possibly could use. Which is why, by the way, you see this also happening. I can prove this, by the way. Let me prove this to you. This isn't just trans people doing it, and this isn't just furries doing it. there are also people doing this along racial lines. I'm this race. Prove to me that you're not racist by giving me stuff. That has happened so much. Actually, you know what? I have a video. And I think this is totally related. This is my proof. Actually, let me finish this video and then I'll show you the proof.
You're a pillar box.
Okay, you can't change your species, but you can change your entire biological makeup. Makes sense.
Identify, as long as it's the same species, you're comfortable that I could identify as that.
And she makes an interesting move here.
So I could identify as a man.
Yes, you can.
Could I identify as a black man?
Then it gets more complicated because...
Wait, why? Why?
No, that would be too far.
Yeah,
well,
see,
why?
that doesn't make sense.
He can't explain why. It just gets more complicated. That's how these conversations go.
Transgender is something that is a personal necessity.
What do you mean by a personal necessity? Well, why can't being a black man be a personal necessity? Who gets to define personal necessity?
Because it works too, or like it's a personal necessity for me to be a cat, and it's like, well, you're not a cat. Well, if you don't let me be a cat, then I'm going to isekai on myself. The same line of logic works. Yeah.
Edward, if I can change my biological sex, then I can change my race as well. Don't pick and choose now.
If you're trying to change your race, that is a choice, and it also affects another community.
Well, but do you not think that this whole transgender thing affects another community, men, saying that they can be women? Do you not think that the community of women are affected by that?
Well, they are, and that's where we talk about women's spaces.
And this is where this whole thing crumbles.
But under the law, a woman can have a penis.
Yeah, I mean,
and the question then is whether or not that woman should be able to use women-only spaces. I think not, by the way. But the only difference under the law is you don't send a trans woman with male genitalia into a women's prison.
Firstly, just because something is law doesn't mean that it makes sense or that it's right. And you know, if
bro, this is the first time I've seen two women destroying a woke dude. This is not. This is usually the other way around, bro.
The logic is the same. It doesn't matter if you're identifying as a different race or if you're identifying as a different species, because the whole point of being transgender and having gender dysphoria is the idea that you were placed in the wrong body.
Jeez. Always has been. Before woke, it was the Christians that never read the Bible, calling everything the work of Satan. Before that, it was the hippies demanding everyone else work to pay for drugs. Before then, it was always boomers every time. Damn. Now to back it up and to loop back around to the point I was making earlier about how, you know, it's not just the kind of crazy furry thing and the trans thing. There are people doing that along other lines that people would consider to be more understandable. And you'll see it's the same pattern of like pushing how they feel about themselves onto other people and forcing them and using it as a cudgel that they can wield power over other people. And let me show you a clip of that from earlier. I saw this earlier. Oops, this isn't the right one.
Prove to me you guys are not racist and let us two sit down. So you guys are racist? Or you just don't want to prove it?
Wait, I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see something.
Yeah. Prove that you guys are not racist and let us two sit down. All right, come on. Let's do it. Prove it. Prove you're not racist.
All right, that's one.
That's one.
Thank you.
That's one. One more. Oh my God, you guys are going viral. They're going to say you're so good. Look at, what are your names? Say your names. Say it. It's a good. Good job, guys. You did good.
Do you see what I mean? Like they're using whatever power that they can. They're leveraging power over other people to force them to do things that they don't want to do. Honestly, if I were there, I would have called them the N-word.
Allies. Allies. Allies.
Y'all looking.
Prove to me.
You're gonna glow on camera? Leave, you're too good for this world, dude. Don't, you will get fucked up. I have a gun. So, I would hope that they would not fuck with me. Let's see. You can't shut out though. Why not? Look at what they're doing to people. They deserve it, to be honest. That answers my questions. Dude, that's gonna get clipped, dude. There's gonna be an article that says Leaflit would call black people the N-word. It's gonna be like, Leaflit says she would call a black person the N-word. Unfortunately, if you can't carry in New York City, oh, that's true. That's true. Good point. Good point. Someday, someone will say you started the fight. Gains 2 million subscribers in 24 hours. Leaflit the builder. Leaflit shut down on stream. Oh man. Blah Ninja Leak says my people keep taking L's, bro. You're not them. You're not like this. You're not. You don't gotta worry about it. You don't gotta apologize for anything, man. Just because you're the same skin color as them. You're not that. This is a completely different thing. It's not even the same tribe. You know, when I say tribe, you know, just to clear it up for people who are gonna freak out, I don't mean tribe in that way. I mean tribe as in cultural tribe. You're not the same cultural tribe as them because you wouldn't do this. Individuals are individuals. You're your own person. Exactly. Yeah. This is ridiculous. This is the same tribe, by the way. This is the same tribe as like the again, the furries that are like, I will be called a cat. I will be called a cat. I will shit in the litter box at school. It's the same tribe as like trans people saying like, I'm gonna go do women's sports no matter what. Don't really care about the advantage or the effects it has on other people. It's the same. This is the same thing. And this is kind of what I'm trying to say, right? Is that it's very obvious to me that all of these societal problems are caused by narcissists. It's not actually like, it's not black people. It's not, it's not black people. It's not trans people. It's not furries. It's not whatever group you want to choose. It's narcissists. It's narcissists that also happen to have those traits that are utilizing said traits in order to it's like their ammo. Their whatever it is their immutable characteristic, their quote unquote immutable characteristic or quirk is the ammunition for their narcissism. I would have told him, get to the back of the yeah, anyway, I think I'm right. Like, what do you guys think, chat? Like, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think that narcissists are the problem? Because I actually think that's what it is. I think if you just take the category of narcissists, you will see that all of the exceptions, right? Because there's exceptions, right? There's furries that aren't annoying. There's there's very obviously black people who aren't like this, and there's trans people who aren't like this either. And what's the factor that they don't have that the others do? It's narcissism. So I think we can distill the problem down to narcissists being given a tool. It's narcissists being given a cultural technology, which is immutable characteristic bitching and complaining. The technology of, let me use my oppression to use it as a cudgel to like force other people to do what I want, right? So they've discovered this cultural technology of oppression and utilizing it, and then they're just using that basically. It's narcissists given the societal capability, given the cultural technology combined is what caused this problem. And so narcissists always existed, but they weren't able to manifest any power because they didn't have this cultural technology. So, right, if you were to remove everyone's care for their oppression, they would have no power. None of this would happen, right? You wouldn't have people saying, I'm a cat, so you're going to treat me like a cat at school. Wouldn't happen if they had no power. Oh, you know what? You know what? I decided I'm trans today. I'm going to go in the women's restroom and I'm going to go in the women's restroom and be a creep. Wouldn't have happened. A person acting like this, like a black person acting like this in a way, wouldn't have happened. None of this would have been tolerated. He's only doing this because he knows he has power. So that's what the issue is. So the solution becomes obvious to me. And it's that we need to remove this cultural technology from existence. We need to together develop a counter technology to this cultural technology that they've developed. And if we can do that and just stop caring about like what they say, then they'll have no power and then it'll all go away. The narcissist will move on to some other technique. But it is a never-ending battle against a narcissist because they're always going to keep trying to find new techniques that they can use.